Good afternoon from Joliet, Illinois, and welcome to today's broadcast of St. Francis basketball. The University of St. Francis Fighting Saints take on the Eagles of Judson University in a women's and men's doubleheader today. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for the action as the Fighting Saints try to snap out of their skid. They've lost their last 6 games consecutively. Haven't been victorious since January 24th at Trinity Christian. Today, they look for their first home win since January 3rd, and an opportunity to get it against a struggling Judson team who has lost 7 consecutive games of their own. The last time they won was back on January 20th against Calumet College of St. Joseph. Eagles are on the floor in their navy blue duds. The Fighting Saints join them in pink. Starters for St. Francis today are Mia Canelli, Leilani Harris, Georgia Bolton, Lorelei Thormeyer, and Takara Harrison, who goes against Easton Kimball on the opening tip. It's won by the Saints. St. Francis goes from right to left for the first half of today's game. Saints playing shorthanded as per usual today. They've lost another of their usual starters, but Leilani Harris is back in the lineup. Second time that she's been out there as a starter since going down with a knee injury late in the last calendar year. Mia Canelli fires an air ball on a three-pointer, saved from going out of bounds by Georgia Bolton, but right to Easton Kimball. Here comes Sydney Novak going end to end, and Novak lays it in. Quick attack from the Eagles, and Judson takes the first lead of the game. The starters for Judson today: Alyssa Potter, the aforementioned Novak, Easton Kimball, Bridget Grady, and Charity Anderson. This is Leilani Harris just inside the three-point line. She backs her way in on Anderson, up with the left hand, and she's fouled. Harris has been getting back into the swing of things. This is her 4th game since returning from injury. She played in 2 off the bench, played really well in one of them, and then sat for 1 game, back in the starting lineup on Wednesday, and today is her 2nd game as a starter. She knocks down the first free throw. Leilani Harris averages 12.3 points per game. She's 73% from the free throw line. And she was the team's leading scorer through the first 8 games of the year before suffering that knee injury. Takara Harrison currently leads the squad with 14 a game, but Harris has the first 2 today. Alyssa Potter looking for help, finally finds it. Here's Bridget Grady. Novak, back out to Potter. Three-pointer is good, and Judson is 2 for their first 2. They score on back-to-back possessions and take a 5-2 advantage. It's a three-pointer from Alyssa Potter for this Judson team that is one of the least effective three-point shooting teams in the CCAC. But 1 for 1 today. Harris flips it up and in. A couple of underhanded shots from Leilani Harris in traffic that time. She's got her first, or the first 4 points, I should say, for St. Francis today. They're down by just 1. Sydney Novak along the outside, picked up by Georgia Bolton, picks up her dribble. Here's Alyssa Potter, lobbing it to the elbow. Easton Kimball hands it off. Grady drives, Grady walks. First possession of the game for Judson, in which they do not find the scoreboard. There's still a perfect 2 of 2 from the field, but St. Francis can take their first lead of the game right now. Takara Harrison finds Mia Canelli, back up top. Harrison, wide open 3, knocks it down. Takara Harrison has had her shooting struggles this year, but she has been red hot from all over the field the last 2 weeks. And she does give St. Francis their first lead, 7-5 on the three-pointer. Another turnover committed by the Eagles. That was Charity Anderson, called for the travel. Back-to-back travels called against Judson. And the Eagles call timeout. Matt Richter, the rookie head coach of the Eagles, calls his troops aside to try to work out some of the defensive deficiencies early on, I would imagine. They have not missed a shot early on. Judson 2 for their first 2, but they've turned it over on back-to-back possessions, both traveling calls. And St. Francis, after missing on an air ball on their first shot of the game, has scored on every possession, 3 in a row. So they've scored the last 5 points overall. A chance to make it 7 or 8 in a row and add to their advantage here. Takara Harrison over to Lorelei Thormeyer. Georgia Bolton drives to the left hand. Bolton layup. No, too hard off the glass. Mia Kennelly fights for the rebound. And we've got a tie-up. Possession arrow favors the Eagles. So St. Francis does come up empty for the first time since their opening possession of the game. Fighting Saints, I mentioned, are shorthanded again today. They've been going with really just 6 or 7 players lately. We'll be back to 6 most likely in this one, unless the game gets out of hand late. Easton Kimball, a little bit too hard off the glass. First miss of the game for Judson. Talia Pellegrini, who has been a starter for most of the season, is out today. So lucky that Leilani Harris is back ready to go. Mia Kennelly as well, who missed some time earlier. Kennelly's pass a little bit too high for Georgia Bolton that time. She fires it out of bounds. Here comes Kiki Gray. Gray is the only rotation player who is available off the bench today. She checks in for Harris. They do have 4 other players dressed and ready to go if needed, but we have not seen a lot of the freshmen Hannah Choki and Ryan Houbolt this year. And the 2 converted softball players, Brittany Osborne and Kaylee Sipple, are also available. No good for the Eagles. We've hit a bit of a lull scoring-wise in this game, and maybe that'll change from the free throw line as Takara Harrison is fouled by Charity Anderson. That's already number 2 on Anderson. Freshman out of Proviso West High School has to head to the bench. She's replaced by Paula Bernal Rodriguez. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. Rodriguez from Barcelona, Spain. I still don't think I got it. Takara Harrison hits on her first free throw. 8-5. 4 points for Harrison, 4 points for Harris. Now it's 9-5. Alyssa Potter walks it across half court. 7-0 run for St. Francis. Over 2 minutes without a point for the Eagles. Half the shot clock is gone. It's Alyssa Potter passing off to her right. Inside, Grady off the glass, misses. Second chance, Grady missed it again. Rebound Kiki Gray. Here come the Fighting Saints. It's Thormeyer flipping it back to Kennelly. Down to the corner, Georgia Bolton drives the baseline. Bolton trapped underneath the basket. Gets it outside, Kennelly on the drive, floats it around the rim and in. Mia Kennelly has her first points of the game. Mia Kennelly for Bolton. 11-5 Saints, 9 straight points for them. And that run continues as the jumper rims out from Kimball. Harrison back to Bolton. Georgia Bolton penetrates with the right hand, picks up her dribble, and is able to find help on the outside. Takara Harrison, still loads of time to shoot here for the Saints. Gray gets a touch inside. Gray backs in, loses the ball, and it is scooped up, taken away by Paula Bernal Rodriguez. She pulls up at the top of the key, passes to her left. Down low, Potter, or rather Novak, spins around Gray and scores. That ends a drought of over 3 minutes for the Eagles. Second field goal of the game for Sydney Novak, who's got 4 of her team's first 7. It had been 9 consecutive points for St. Francis. Here's Harrison, steps around a screen, wide open 3, air ball. Kennelly tries to save the rebound, but does so right to a blue shirt. Saints have had a couple of open 3-pointers that have missed everything already today. Wide open layup inside for Bridget Grady. Grady, the sophomore guard, scores her first 2 of the game. And Judson, after going more than 3 minutes without scoring, has now found the bottom of the net on back-to-back possessions, and they pull themselves to within 2. Harrison over to Thormeyer, left wing. Thormeyer surveys, drives left, picks it up, kicks out to Kennelly. Open 3, Kennelly doesn't count. Kiki Gray is called for the moving screen. An offensive foul on St. Francis. .406 remaining first quarter. Substitutes come on for Judson. Jada Centino is in, along with Evelyn Martin. This is Martin getting her first touch. Up top, Potter. Rodrigue Alvarez for three. Off the back of the rim, deadened, doesn't fall. Rebound to the Fighting Saints. Here comes Thormeyer, taking it into the teeth of the defense and backing out. Good transition D for the Eagles. Harris kicks it outside, Thormeyer. Thormeyer bounces back out. It's Takara Harrison, half the shot clock gone. Harrison travels. Seen a spate of traveling calls early in this game. Both teams having some trouble with happy feet early on. 3:30 to play, first quarter. St. Francis going through a bit of a drought after scoring 9 points in a row to take an 11-5 lead. Judson has stifled them the last few times down the floor, and the Eagles have pulled back to within 2. Lobbed into the corner, Kimball. Deflected away, stolen by the Saints. Thormeyer stumbles a bit. Thormeyer goes down low and pulls back outside. Didn't have any help with her. So they set up the half-court game. An open three for Harris, and it's good. Leilani Harris has 7. Smart decision by Lorelei Thormeyer. Trying to apply the pressure early in that possession. Recognized she didn't have anything. Pulled back, let her offense get set up, and they found a good shot for Leilani Harris. Cutting, Rodrigue Alvarez lays it in. Good ball movement from Judson. And it's a 3-point game. Both teams have gone through a few droughts, but overall it's been a good offensive first quarter for a couple of teams that haven't put up huge offensive numbers this season. Leilani Harris inside, off the backboard and in. Leilani Harris is having a great first period. 9 points for the sophomore guard. St. Francis by 5. Down to the corner, Centino. Lobbed inside, Easton Kimball finds an open shooter at the top of the key. Alyssa Potter drains the three. Potter's hit a couple of those today. 34% on the season from three-point range. And a little bit better than that now. She's 2 for 2. Pulls Judson to within a pair. Kiki Gray inside, double team, scores anyway. Gray's first points this afternoon. And we continue to go back and forth here. Pressure defense, ball's gotten rid of, and a double dribble. Called against Paula Bernal Rodrigue Alvarez. Turnover committed by Judson, and St. Francis goes to their bench. Ryan Houbolt is in. 12th game that she's appeared in this year. She's only played a total of 29 minutes. But getting some early action today with the Saints shorthanded. Takara Harrison drives to the rim and is fouled on her way up. More free throws coming for St. Francis. As a team, they've gone 4 of 4 from the line so far. And that is the difference in the game to this point. Takara Harrison hit 2 of those foul shots. She's 3 for 3, 5-point lead. Foul was called on Jada Centino. Her first foul. Second one is good. Harrison is 4 for 4. Harris is 2 for 2 from the line. Saints are +6 from the free throw line, +6 on the scoreboard. Here's Rodrigue Alvarez around Houbolt. Tries to give it up down low and mistimes her pass. It's stolen by the Fighting Saints. Harrison, good fake inside, scores off the glass. 9 points for Harrison. She and Harris both have 9. The lead is up to 8 for the Saints, their biggest. Jessica Meyer on the outside. Meyer just checked in. 6'4" tall sophomore forward. Outside jumper no good for Rodrigue Alvarez, and a fight for the rebound. We've got a travel called against Jada Centino. Wasn't sure she had taken control of that ball before she started taking those steps, but apparently she did. Judson coughs it up again. And the Fighting Saints get to take what will probably be their last possession of the first quarter. See if they can turn it into a double-digit lead. Takara Harrison takes it into the paint. Back outside, Leilani Harris. Harris bounces down low to Gray. Gray working one-on-one with Meyer, blocked by Meyer. Right into the hands of Centino. Centino going one-on-one with Leilani Harris. Spins inside, layup no, rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Eagles. Risky maneuver by Centino. Very aggressive going against Harris there. It did not work out in her favor. And now the Saints can take the final shot of the period. Takara Harrison with 7 seconds. Steps up to the three-point line. Dribbles in right side, loses the ball. Scooped up by Potter. Potter from just beyond half court. A little bit too hard off the glass. And that's the end of the first quarter. Good start for Judson. They went quiet as time went on. St. Francis heated up, had a very successful quarter from the free throw line. And after 10 minutes of play, St. Francis leads 22-14. Fighting Saints entered play today with an 8-17 record overall, 4-13 in conference. They did have a winning record as recently as early January, but they've lost 11 of their last 12 contests and have essentially taken themselves out of the running for a spot in the conference tournament. They haven't officially been eliminated yet. If they win their last 3, there's still a chance. Last 3 games include today, and then Wednesday at Calumet. They'll play a week from today at home to close the season against St. Xavier. So a tough finish for them. This is, at least on paper, their weakest stretch of schedule this season, with Judson and Calumet back-to-back. Those are the 2 teams they're playing just one time in conference play. So this is the first meeting this year between these 2 schools. And a good start for St. Francis offensively. 7 of 11 from the field. A perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Takara Harrison and Leilani Harris each have 9 points. 2 of them have gone a combined 5 for 6 from the field for 18 total points. Judson led so far by Alyssa Potter, who is 2 for 2 from three-point range. She's got 6 points, and she's been sharp early on. Rest of the team, not quite as much. You take her out of the equation, they're just 4 of 13, 31% from the field. St. Francis ball. 8 points is already the biggest they've had today, and they can extend it. They turn it over on the last possession of the first quarter, but a chance to make up for that here. Georgia Bolton in the corner looking for her first points today. Bolton pivots in the paint outside Harris. They move it around to the corner. Harrison down low. Leilani Harris backs in on Anderson. Out to Bolton. Bolton penetrates, spins to her right and travels. Got the shot to go, but she stumbled beforehand. And that little stumble cost her possession. 5th turnover already committed by the Fighting Saints. Judson's turned it over 6 times in the first 10 minutes. It's a foul called as Charity Anderson will go to the line. Anderson picked up 2 quick fouls and went to the bench early in the first quarter. But Matt Richter has gone back to her quickly here. And it pays off immediately as Bolton is called for her first foul. Anderson averaging 8 points per game, rattles home the first free throw. 57% from the line this year. Second shot is good as well. First free throws of the game for Judson. And they're both good. Neither team has missed from the line yet today. Bolton fakes the handoff, now does give it to Takara Harrison. Down low, kicked into the corner, Mia Kennelly. Here's Thormeyer. Lorelei Thormeyer working against Potter. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Harris for 3, perfect. And Leilani Harris stays perfect, 4 for 4. 12 points for the sophomore guard out of Marist High School. Leilani Harris having a great start to today's game. The lead is up to 9 for St. Francis. Easton Kimball, triple team. Kimball surrounded by pink shirts. Finally gets it outside. Here's Charity Anderson for 3, short. Rebound grabbed by Kennelly, her second today. Eagles are going through a drought from the field as Harris fires another three-pointer, her first miss today, and a loose ball foul is called on Judson. The Eagles got a couple of free throws to start out this second quarter, but they haven't scored from the field in 4 minutes now. Sydney Novak is called for her first foul. Lorelei Thormeyer set to inbound. Finds Harris. Lob down low, Gray. Kiki Gray off the backboard, no. Anderson is there for the rebound. Here comes Judson, led by Jada Centino. Easton Kimball holds it on the outside. Out to Potter, another three-point attempt is good for Alyssa Potter. 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. And she is almost single-handedly keeping Judson in the game. 9 points on 3 of 3 shooting. Just about half of her team's total. And their first field goal in more than 4 minutes. Harris for 3. Missed it again. Rebound goes to Kennelly. Second chance for the Saints. Bolton drives with the left hand. Bolton off balance shot, able to find the glass and the basket. Georgia Bolton has her first points. It's the Saints by 8. Drive from Sydney Novak. She's bumped on her way to the hoop. Novak's headed to the free throw line. 27-19, St. Francis leads Judson. Georgia Bolton called for her second foul. Sydney Novak's off to a good start today. She's got 4 points, 68% shooter this year. It's her first. As a team this season, from the free throw line, Judson is shooting just 63%, but they're perfect today. Both teams are. A little bit more of a surprise on Judson's side just because I just read you that number. Not a very good free throw shooting team. They've pulled within 6 once again. Down by as many as 9. Trying to make it 9 again. Takara Harrison misses the 3. Potter in the corner finds the cutting Charity Anderson, who lays it in. Timeout St. Francis. Good pass to Anderson, sets up the bucket, and Judson trails by only 4 as the Saints head back to the sideline to talk things over with their third-year head coach John McGinty. Trying to snap that 6-game losing streak today. Saints have trailed only twice. They were down 2-0, and then after tying the score, Judson hit a three-pointer. So it was 5-2 at one point, but the Saints followed that immediately with a 9-0 run, and they've been ahead ever since by as many as 9 points. But Judson's starting to shoot the ball a little bit better, and as a result, they've clawed their way back to within 2 scores. Saints got off to a really hot start from the field, but they're just one of their last 5 after starting 8 for 12. Foul away from the ball. This is against St. Francis, and so they turn it over. Foul is number 3 on the Saints this quarter. It's the second of the game against Kiki Gray. So now Gray and Bolton both have 2 fouls. They both remain on the floor with the Saints scrounging for options off the bench. Centino off to her left. This is Potter to the free throw line. A drive from Sydney Novak. Novak comes up short. Rebound deflected around, pulled in by Kiki Gray. Thormeyer wants to run. Fired ahead for Kennelly. Harrison drives from the corner. Harrison reverse layup is good. 11 for Takara Harrison. It ends a little bit of a skid for the Saints as they had been struggling with their shot the last few possessions. Easton Kimball turns to face the basket, misses the jumper. The rebound knocked out of Anderson's hands and grabbed by Kennelly. Thormeyer working against Anderson. Tries to get by her and then stops and fires to the outside. Kennelly, three-pointer, no, a little bit short. Kiki Gray comes in, offensive rebound, and scores on the second effort. Timeout Judson, a full timeout. 5 minutes, 43 seconds to play in the first half. St. Francis leads by 8. They haven't pulled away, but they've been able to keep some distance from Judson in the early going today. 12 points for Leilani Harris. Takara Harrison now has 9 points for the Fighting Saints. Two of them have, actually 11 now for Takara Harrison, sorry. The two of them have paced the squad. Really impressive start all around on the offensive end for the Saints. They went through that scoring drought for a few minutes there, but back on track, they've hit their last two. Judson has been able to stay in the game primarily because of the strong outside work of Alyssa Potter. Potter is 3 for 3 from three-point range, and that's given her team life. Potter, a big volume three-point shooter. On the season, she takes about 6 of them per contest and hits right around 2 per game. But today she's already surpassed her normal average. 3 for 3 from three-pointers. Or 3 for 3 on three-pointers anyway. She's got a team-leading 9 points. Sydney Novak has 6 for Judson. Judson trying to break a 7-game losing streak. St. Francis is trying to snap a 6-game skid, so something has got to give today. So far, so good for the home side. The penultimate home game this season for the Saints. We figure they need to win all 3 to have any chance at extending the season beyond next Saturday in the conference tournament. Here's Rodrigue Alvarez in the corner. Down low, gives it right to Takara Harrison. And she was looking for Jessica Meyer, but really didn't get it close to her. Harrison scoops it up and in. 13 for her. Haley Mason in the game for Judson, by the way, not Jessica Meyer. Mason's making her first appearance. 6 foot 3 inches tall. Grady to Easton Kimball. Turnaround down low, no good from Mason. Her first field goal attempt of the game. Saints have their biggest lead, a double-digit advantage, and a chance to extend it further. Kennelly to Thormeyer, corner 3, no. It's the first field goal attempt of the game for Lorelei Thormeyer, who's been a strong scorer over the last month or so for the Fighting Saints, but not this time. Grady inside, a travel. Tried to get the contact, but she took the extra step first. 33-23, 10-point lead for St. Francis, 4:26 to play in the first half. Saints have led pretty much the whole way so far. They're slowly but surely creating separation. Trying to add to the lead, it's Harrison to Kennelly. Bounce down low, Bolton immediately double teamed, back outside. Takara Harrison, long three-pointer on the money. 16 for Takara Harrison. She is on fire today. She and Leilani Harris have dominated this game. The two of them have scored 28 of St. Francis's 36 points. This is Kimball looking low for Mason. Instead, she takes it inside. Turnaround over Kennelly. Nice touch off the backboard. And that pulls the Eagles back to within 11. First points today for Easton Kimball, who is the team's leading scorer this year, but at just 9 points per game. Nobody averages double figures, obviously. Takara Harrison, another three-pointer, is good again. 19 for Harrison. Red hot from the outside. Easton Kimball from the free throw line knocks down the jumper. Judson's having trouble defensively right now, but their offense has been pretty good for a team that is near the bottom of the CCAC, averaging only 52 points per game. Better than only Calumet. Harrison again, not this time. Rebound tracked down by Easton Kimball. Here's Potter. Potter's been sharp from the outside. This time she brings it down low. Sends it out to Kimball, who drives and misses the runner. Rebound loose, chased down by Georgia Bolton. Bolton on the move, looks up, has Thormeyer to the outside, takes it herself instead and misses the layup. Good move by Bolton, everything there but the finish. Rodrigue Alvarez inside, back out. Potter, another three-point attempt, and she finally misses for the first time today. Second chance, Haley Mason is fouled. Potter had made her first 3 attempts. Got a good look right there to make it 4 in a row. No good. Georgia Bolton picks up her 3rd foul and checks out of the game. I think she was getting set to leave regardless, so sure a little bit frustrating for both her and John McGinty that she couldn't leave before picking up that 3rd foul, as Haley Mason's first foul shot misses short. First missed free throw of the game. Or wouldn't you know, it comes from Mason, who's been one of the best foul shooters all season for the Eagles. 75%. But she goes 0 for 2. Kiki Gray, Ryan Houbolt back on the floor for St. Francis. 12-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Harrison looking inside, tries to lob it high for Kiki Gray, but before Gray can pull it in, she's whistled for 3 seconds. Camped under the basket a little bit too long. St. Francis turns it over. Potter, the freshman from Texas, walks it across the timeline. Here's Grady. Back to Potter. Around the screen. Potter picked up by Harrison. 12 on the shot clock. Rodrigue Alvarez lobs it down underneath the basket, is able to find Charity Anderson in the corner. Anderson for 3 is good. Rodrigue Alvarez just kind of lobbed that pass up for grabs. Anderson tracked it down and nobody went out to get her. So she got a wide open 3. Gray just kind of hung out underneath the basket and it cost him. 39-30 our score. Saints trying to pull it back to double figures. Harris misses down low. Here come the Eagles. Rodrigue Alvarez lobs it underneath the basket. Bridget Grady gives it to Charity Anderson, who carries it back into the corner. Reset for the Eagles, 20 to shoot. Easton Kimball inside, fouled by Harris. Number 1 on Leilani Harris, 57 seconds to play in the first half. Kimball will try to make this a 7-point game. 80% free throw shooter. Kimball makes the first. She's got 5 points to go along with 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Good going for her so far. 2 of 2 at the line. 39-32. St. Francis led briefly by as many as 14 points. But Judson has scored 7 in a row since then. They've got the momentum. The Saints would like to seize it back before halftime. That won't help. A missed 3-pointer with the rebound ricocheting out of bounds. Judson ball. 40.9 showing on the clock. The Eagles can make it a 2-score game going into break. Already a 7-0 spurt for them. Can they add to it? Potter gives it up to Kimball. Rodrigue Alvarez against Thormeyer, backs it up. Over to Potter. Alyssa Potter feigns right, dribbles left, long 2-point jumper, perfect. She's got 11 points on 4 of 5 shooting. And the 14-point lead is down to 5. 9 in a row scored by Judson. Last chance for the Saints before halftime. Harrison gets the screen going to her right. Pull up from the free throw line. Harrison misses too strong. Second chance, Gray didn't get it off in time. And the first half comes to a close. The Eagles are fired up. Judson ends the first half on a great run as they are back within 5 points after 9 in a row. Saints led by as many as 14, but they'll have their work to do in the second half to get it back to a double-digit lead as they try to pull away for their first win in their last 7 games. 39-34 our score at halftime. It's just about time for the second half in about 15 minutes, so we'll have that for you then. In the meantime, I'll take a break. I'll get you some first half stats when I come back with the final 20 minutes of today's game. 5-point lead, St. Francis, halftime here in Joliet. It's halftime here at the University of St. Francis, just moments away from the start of the second half. Saints against the Judson Eagles. It's a 5-point lead for St. Francis right now, but it looked for a little while like they might pull away. They were up 39-25 before the Eagles ended the half on a 9-0 run over the final 3.5 minutes. Terry Bonadonna back with you for another 20 minutes of basketball. As we take a look at some of the numbers from the first half, the Saints shot well, 52%. Better than Judson's 42%. Eagles a little bit better from beyond the arc, though, 50% from three-point range. Saints were at 39%. Saints out rebounded the Eagles 16-13. Just 6 turnovers for St. Francis. Judson committed 8 of them. Leaders so far, 19 points for Takara Harrison on 6 of 11 shooting for St. Francis. Leilani Harris has 12 points on 4 of 7 from the field. Both of them have been magnificent so far. Alyssa Potter is the leader for Judson. She's got 11 points, primarily due to her outside work. 3 of 4 from three-point range. Her only 2-point attempt was just barely inside the arc. She knocked that one down as well. So 4 of 5 from the field for Potter's 11 points. Eagles basketball as we start the second half. Judson goes from right to left for the third and fourth quarters today. Trying to get within 1 possession if they can score a basket right here. Sydney Novak drives, kicks it out to Potter. Potter was the hot hand in the first half. Back in control of the basketball, 10 to shoot. Here's Charity Anderson, long 2-point jumper, pulls the trigger, no good. Rebound Kiki Gray. Gray's 3rd rebound today. St. Francis by 5. Their last points came 4 minutes ago in game action. Closer to a half hour ago in real time. Leilani Harris fakes right, steps to the left, and rolls it in. Nice move by Harris. That's how she started the game, making moves inside. Harris has 14 points. She and Harrison have done the lion's share of the scoring today. Risky pass from Kimball, but she was able to find Novak. Novak drives, can't get the contact from Thormeyer. And a foul is called on Judson as Kennelly grabs the rebound. Novak reached in. Just over a minute into the second half, 7-point lead for St. Francis. Leilani Harris scored the first points of the third quarter for the Saints. And that ended that 9-0 run that Judson ended the first half on. Harrison on the left. Harrison drives into the paint, picks up her dribble and gives it to Kiki Gray. Thormeyer hasn't scored yet today. Into Gray, back outside, swung around Mia Kennelly. Wide open 3, good. Mia Kennelly from 3-point range, her first 3 of the game. She's got 5 points overall. Just a 28% 3-point shooter, but a great look there. Sydney Novak drives, blocked, out of bounds. It stays with the Eagles. $18 on the shot clock for Judson. Bridget Grady will inbound. Deflected and stolen by Harrison. Here comes Takara Harrison leading the charge. Right into Sydney Novak, around her, and to the basket, she's fouled. Foul called on Bridget Grady coming in from behind. Harrison went 1-on-3. Got right around Novak. Grady was able to make the stop, but had to use force in order to get it. So it's her first foul, 2nd on the team. Harrison has a pair of free throws coming up. She's a perfect 4 of 4 from the line so far today. And she's now 5 of 5. Lead is back to 11. So Judson goes on a 9-0 run. St. Francis answers with 6 in a row, and they can't make it 7. Kennelly grabs the rebound, though. Harris dribbled it off her foot, able to keep it in the front court, but now she throws it away. Anderson goes the other direction. Anderson lays it off the glass and in. Charity Anderson gets Judson on the board for the first time in this second half. Anderson was in foul trouble early in this game. Didn't get a ton of first half minutes. She's played well when she's been out there as Gray misses off the backboard, and an over-the-back foul is called on Mia Kennelly. So a 9-point lead for St. Francis. They lose the ball. Judson takes over with a chance to make a run. Not a lot of offensive firepower on this Eagles team. They're well above their season average pace, scoring-wise already in this game. Novak drives between a couple of defenders, and she's hit on the arm. There were a couple of Saints in the vicinity. The foul is called on Leilani Harris. Number 2 on her. Sydney Novak's at the line. First time Novak has taken free throws today. 68% on the season. I take that back. Novak hit 2 of 2 in the first half. She's 3 of 3 now. She makes it 45-38, making both of her free throws. 8 points for Novak. Here's Thormeyer. Walking to the left. Takara Harrison gets the screen around Gray, steps down the lane, misses the runner. Rebound Gray. Second chance, Kiki Gray is going to the line. Foul called on the Eagles, their 3rd of the quarter. Kiki Gray will get 2 free throws. Gray scores 6.6 points per game for the Fighting Saints. Solid free throw shooter, misses the first. Second shot is good, 1 of 2. 8-point game, Gray departs. Georgia Bolton is in. Bolton sat for the first 3 minutes of this half after getting called for 3 fouls in the first. Anderson along the baseline, spins and floats it in. Nice move down low by Charity Anderson. Anderson adds 2 more to her total. She's in double figures now with 11 points. Harrison looks inside, finds Leilani Harris. Poked away from behind Harris and stolen by Jada Centino. Centino takes it right to Thormeyer, no good. Rebound grab by Takara Harrison. Harrison one-on-one with Anderson, crosses to the left and is fouled. Number 3 on Anderson, and Takara Harrison will go to the free throw line. It was a good drive from Takara Harrison. Crossing over a couple of times on Anderson. Had her off balance. Really forced the Judson freshman into the foul. And now the second free throw is good. 2 of 2. Takara Harrison makes it an 8-point game with 6 minutes to play. Centino for 3. It's way off. Rebound out to Centino. So she grabs her own miss out by the free throw line. Runner from Potter off the back iron. Rebounded by Gray. Saints have led by as many as 14. They've led just about the whole game. Last advantage for Judson was 5-2. Thormeyer crosses to her left. Down low, flicks it back outside. Corner 3, Harrison, got it. 3 more for Takara Harrison. She's got 25. Timeout called by Judson. Harrison has been awesome for St. Francis today, and really the last couple of weeks. She has been tough to stop. A high volume shooter all year, but without a ton of success. These last few games, she's really turned it around. Didn't shoot all that well against Governor State in the last game, but the 3 prior to that at Olivet Nazarene and then at home against Holy Cross and Roosevelt, she was knocking everything down, and been more of that today. She extends the lead to 51-40 with her 4th three-pointer of the game. She's 4 of 8. Judson comes out of their timeout with the ball. It's Centino taking it down, joined on the floor by Kimball, Grady, Novak, and Rodrigue Alvarez. This is Easton Kimball from the top of the key, knocking down the 2-point jumper. Kimball's got 10. So that's 3 players on Judson with double figures today. Remember, they don't have anybody on the team averaging double figures. Eagles put on the full court press, and the Saints are able to beat it. Thormeyer back and forth near the half-court line to Mia Kennelly. Swung around right side, Harrison. Fires into the post. It's Kiki Gray. Turnaround off the rim. Doesn't get the roll. 9-point game. Judson trying to take a big cut out of the lead. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles. That was Bridget Grady taking it into traffic. Not able to finish. Leilani Harris comes on for Mia Kennelly. Judson puts on the press defense again. Saints were able to handle it last time around. Thormeyer splits 2 defenders, gets across half court. Tries to get it out to Harris. Pass was deflected, but I think it got Harris last. Maybe it wasn't deflected in the first place. Regardless, it's Judson ball. So the press defense this time does create a turnover. Centino, corner 3, no. Rebound to the Saints. Talked about it earlier. They're not a very good 3-point shooting team. Centino came into play today just 11% from beyond the arc, and she's 0 for 2 in this game. Harrison for 3, no. Judson's shot a high percentage from the outside today, but there haven't been a ton of attempts, so that percentage is going down in a hurry. Foul called on St. Francis. Nope, on Judson, sorry. Going after the loose ball. Bridget Grady knocked over Lorelei Thormeyer. It's going to be free throws for Thormeyer here. That was not an offensive foul against Judson. Possession was up for grabs. And it's number 5 of the quarter against the Eagles. So Thormeyer can get her first points of the game. 10-point per game scorer. She's been a hot offensive player as well, along with Harrison and Harris. She's really led the team of late. But she's not on the board yet today. Not even from the free throw line. 84% shooter, but she misses her first. Second shot is good. So she goes 1 of 2. First point today for the sophomore Thormeyer. 10-point lead. Deep 3 for Potter. She's been feeling it all day. Her 4th made 3-pointer today. 14 points for Alyssa Potter. St. Francis's lead is just 7. Thormeyer across half court. A couple of Eagles in tow, but she was able to beat the press this time. Gets the screen. Thormeyer pull up from the free throw line, rims out. Rebound tipped into Gray's hands. And a jump ball as Kimball reached her hand in and forced the tie up. It'll stay with the Saints. Mia Kennelly checks in for Kiki Gray. Harrison fakes the handoff, takes it inside, one-on-one with Centino, up with the right hand, yes, and one. Takara Harrison has been huge all game. She's up to 27 points. And now to the line to try for one more. Second foul on Jada Centino. Harrison's got 28. Three-pointer Potter, way short that time. I don't know if Thormeyer got a fingertip on that or if her arm coming in just threw off Alyssa Potter. But the girl has been shooting better than anybody else all game. Missed that by a good couple feet. Harrison over to Thormeyer. Thormeyer pulls it back, 7 to shoot. Leilani Harris into the paint. Harris to Kennelly. Kennelly lays it up and in with 2 on the shot clock. A nice find by Leilani Harris. And Kennelly's able to finish for her 3rd bucket of the game. 7 for Kennelly, 12-point lead, St. Francis. We're up by 5 at halftime as Grady misses the runner. Rebound tapped out of bounds. We're going to get a foul here. We are. Foul on Judson. Meaning more free throws coming up for St. Francis. Third foul called against Bridget Grady. And Leilani Harris goes to the line. 14 points in the game for Harris. First shot is good. So is the second. She's got 16. She and Harris have combined for 44 of St. Francis's 59 points. Just over 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Jada Centino walks it up to the 3-point line. Georgia Bolton gives her plenty of space. Centino walks it to her right. Rodrigue Alvarez, wide open 3. A high arcer misses off the rim, and the rebound is grabbed by Lorelei Thormeyer. Saints have taken control of this game. They've matched their biggest lead at 14. They've got the ball with a chance to add more. Gray gives it to Harrison. Now the screen. Harrison for 3. Not this time. Rebounded by Judson. Paula Bernal, Rodrigue Alvarez gives it up to Alyssa Potter. Around the screen. Potter dribbles to the right. Gives it back to Rodrigue Alvarez. Potter for 3. Another air ball. Offensive rebound. Shot clock didn't reset. Doesn't matter. The Saints take it away. Alyssa Potter has cooled off. Back-to-back air balls after making 4 of her first 5 3-point attempts. Under a minute to play in the quarter. St. Francis is in control. Thormeyer gives to Harrison. Kennelly on the wing. One dribble. Looks inside. Underthrows the pass to Harrison. It's intercepted by Jada Centino. Centino gives it to Kimball. Kimball down low against 2 defenders. No good. Rebound still loose. Finally grabbed by Kennelly from the floor. And the Saints are able to start their possession. Thormeyer across half court. Looks like they'll hold for the final shot. Takara Harrison's got 28 points. Ball's in her possession as we come down to the end of the period. St. Francis trying to extend their biggest lead of the afternoon. Harrison drives. Harrison gives it up to Bolton. Georgia Bolton, 3 on the clock. Looks around, finds Thormeyer, corner 3 at the buzzer. No good, and that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. St. Francis was able to extend their lead by 9 points in the 3rd quarter. It was 39-34 at the half, but they outscored Judson 20-11, and they have built up a pretty hefty lead. Still 10 minutes to play in this one. Game's not over by a long shot, but Fighting Saints are feeling pretty good about where things stand right now, as they have not trailed in this one since the score was 5-2 early in the 1st quarter. Takara Harrison is the game's leader, 28 points, 8 of 16 shooting, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. She's also got 5 steals. And Leilani Harris has 17 points for St. Francis. Judson has A couple of players in double figures. Alyssa Potter's got 14, and Charity Anderson has 8. Thought Easton Kimball had made her way up to 10, but I miscounted. She's got 8 points right now as well. St. Francis trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. They're looking for their first home win since January 3rd. They beat Olivet Nazarene that day. And after that game, they were above 500, but they've lost 12 out of 13 since then. Came into play today with a record overall of 8-17 on the season. 10 minutes to go. Judson takes the floor with Potter, Anderson, Novak. Looks like a couple of new players out there as well. Delia Ticini is in for the first time, along with Evelyn Martin. Martin played very briefly in the first half. Second time we've seen her today, as their opening possession is 2 missed shots, but rebound Charity Anderson. Third chance, rattles in. Back-to-back misses to open up that possession. But on the second offensive rebound, Anderson puts it in for 2 more points. She's got 13 for the game. Thormeyer's had a quiet day. She gives it up. Down low, Kiki Gray from Harris, and Gray is fouled by Sydney Novak. She'll go to the line. 2 shots for Kiki Gray. Gray is 1 for 2 from the line. 5 points, 9 rebounds for her today. First free throw here misses. Gray's played 20 minutes in this game. The junior center knocks down her second shot. 60-47, Saints. Saints led by 14 in the first half, 39-25. They led 59-45 here in the second half. Judson averages under 52 points per game as that pass is deflected, but still finds Ticini. Anderson dribbles it off her own foot, and the loose ball is picked up by the Fighting Saints. Thormeyer gets the screen to her left, underneath the basket, lays it up and misses. Rebound tipped, and Bolton keeps it alive. Georgia Bolton, with bodies on the floor all around her, has a free path to the basket for the lay-in. How about that? Everybody fell down on both teams going after the ball. Georgia Bolton is like a bowling ball. All the pins fall down around her. She just went straight through. Knocked out of bounds. Still belongs to the Eagles. Inbound to Potter. Back to the corner. Three-pointer Ticini misses. And the rebound goes to the Fighting Saints. 15-point lead. Their biggest. Canelli around to Thormeyer, left wing. Cutting Leilani Harris down low. Harris bounces to Thormeyer. Didn't get a clean grip on it initially, but she keeps it alive with 5 to shoot. Leilani Harris, 2 on the shot clock. Leaner air ball. That's a shot clock violation. It's the 11th turnover of the game for St. Francis, which is not a bad number when you consider they were at 5 in the first 10 and a half minutes today. So the last 22 minutes or so, they've only committed 6 more. Judson has turned it over 12 times. Potter, step back 3. No. Loose ball secured by Georgia Bolton. Potter has missed 3 consecutive three-pointers after starting 4 for 5. Matt Richter is getting ready to make a line change at the next whistle. 4 Eagles sit at the scorer's table ready to check in. Harrison finds Bolton up top. Thormeyer down low. It's Gray. Kiki Gray is stripped. Sydney Novak takes it away. Novak fires it ahead. And off the glass too hard from Evelyn Martin. Second chance, Eagles. Potter gets back on the board. Her 5th three-pointer today. Timeout called. Judson pulls to within 12. 62-50 as the Fighting Saints call timeout. "17 points now for Ashley Potter, who was 4 of 5 from three-point range. Missed 3 in a row, but didn't let that deter her. After Evelyn Martin missed the initial shot on that possession, Eagles were able to keep possession alive and knock down the three-pointer. She's got 17 to lead the Eagles. Harrison has 28 for St. Francis. She's been sitting at 28 throughout this fourth quarter, hasn't been able to get a shot off yet in the fourth. Fighting Saints in this period have made just 1 field goal. It's only been a little bit over 3 minutes, so it's not an enormous drought for them just yet. Judson has not exactly been lighting up the scoreboard during that same period. But you know, John McGinty would love to just have his team stomp their feet right now and put this game away immediately, or at least as soon as possible. Not give Judson hope late. Bolton, Thormeyer, Kennelly, Harrison, and Gray on the floor for the Fighting Saints. Grady, Anderson, Centino, Rodrigue Alvarez, and Kimball are out there for Judson. Thormeyer bounces to Gray. Gray looking for Thormeyer, threw it right off the back of Jada Centino. Intercepted by Judson. Down low, Anderson off the backboard, no good, but she's fouled. Judson got off to a strong offensive start to this game, scoring 34 points in the first half, well above their season average. They scored just 52 points per game, but their offense has picked up of late. Despite losing both of them, they have surpassed that total in their last 2 games. Actually, their last 3 games, lost all 3 of them. First foul shot good for Anderson. She's got 14 points, 62-51. Missed the second. Rebound goes to Harris. Still a double-digit lead for St. Francis. It's been 30 minutes of game time since Judson had their last lead. So the Fighting Saints have not been really threatened a lot in this game, but the issue has not been secure. Harris steps into the paint, leans to her left, and rolls it in. 18 for Leilani Harris. Anderson, corner 2, no. Rebound to Kennelly. St. Francis will take some time off the clock as Thormeyer cavalierly walks across half court. Harrison, still no field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Leilani Harris fakes right, leans left, and gets herself to the line. Good game today for Leilani Harris, and she can become the second 20-point scorer for St. Francis by knocking down these 2 free throws. She gets the first. Saints are 16 of 20 from the line today. That's a solid 80%. That's better than 80%. Leilani Harris is even better than the team. She's 6 of 6. After getting fouled today, 15-point lead matches their biggest. Inside to the cutting Anderson, kicks it out to Centino. Centino bounces it high off the rim and in. Just her third made three-pointer in 29 attempts this season. Kennelly nearly let that pass behind her. It was a little bit off the mark from Thormeyer, but a nice catch made by Kennelly. Saints have possession, 13 to shoot. Harrison drives all the way in, scores, and a foul. Takara Harrison has been the best player on the floor today. She has gone quiet, though, for a long stretch until just now. That's her first field goal attempt in about 6 minutes. And it results in points number 29 and 30. 31 as well. The lead is back to 15. Judson can't gain any ground. Rodrigue Alvarez on the wing. Kicks it outside. Anderson for three. Air ball. And out of bounds. We've seen a lot of air ball threes today for both teams. Despite that, the shooting percentages have actually been pretty good today. St. Francis is at 48%. Judson is at 37. Not a particularly high number, but still better than their season average, so not bad for them. Here comes Thormeyer, Lorelei Thormeyer, all the way in and to the line. I should mention as well, I was talking about outside shooting. Both of these teams have been way better than average shooting three-pointers today. Judson's at 38% compared to their season average of 24. And St. Francis is at 37%. On the season, they're just 30% from three-point range. Lorelei Thormeyer has all of her points from the free throw line today. She's 0 of 4 from the field. Now 3 points total. She has extended the lead to a nearly insurmountable 17. If Judson's going to make their push, they've got to start it right now. Paula Bernal Rodrigue Alvarez gets it off to Potter. Good ball movement. Charity Anderson steps inside. Her runner is good. It's a good start for an Eagles team that needs a spark from somebody. Anderson has provided it today. 16 points for the freshman. Thormeyer up top. Harris fires a three. No good. Rebound to Rodrigue Alvarez. Foul called down low on the pass. Anderson had Harris wrap herself around her. Third foul on Leilani Harris. Inbound it to Potter. It's just the second foul on St. Francis. The Eagles have a ways to go before they get free throws. Out of bounds, that was last touched by Novak off the feed from Rodrigue Alvarez. So the ball belongs to St. Francis, under 3.5 minutes to play, and a seemingly comfortable lead for the Fighting Saints. Harrison steps down the lane, floats it off the backboard, no good. Rebound tipped to Ashley Potter, or Alyssa Potter rather. Anderson, three-pointer, no. Rebound Kennelly. Three may have given Judson some life in this game. But the miss means that St. Francis can run another 20-plus seconds off the clock as they look to ice this game away. Bolton finds Harrison on the wing. Harrison down low, off the backboard. This time gets the bank and has 33 points. And they did use over 20 seconds in the process, about 25 seconds. Rodrigue Alvarez, step back from two-point range is good. 73-58. Harrison with now just 2 minutes to play. Takes the air out of the ball. 15 on the shot clock. Finally starts to make her move. Harrison has it stripped by Anderson and taken away. A steal for Charity Anderson. Anderson takes it into Thormeyer. Thormeyer strips it and is called for the foul. Subs coming on for the Fighting Saints as John McGinty brings on his freshmen, Ryan Houbolt and Hannah Chokey. Look like Matt Richter is waving the white flag, bringing in some of his seldom used players as well. Freshman Takea Jones checks in for the first time. Anderson hits the first, one more coming. Misses the second. Rebound is tracked down by Georgia Bolton. Bolton throws it away, intercepted by Alyssa Potter, and Potter lays it in. So it turns into a three-point play for Judson, and the 17-point lead for St. Francis quickly down to 12 with a minute and a half left. Here's Thormeyer weaving her way between defenders. Ryan Houbolt in the corner, and a timeout is called by John McGinty. I think Houbolt may have traveled there. Nothing was called. The timeout came in first. Just making a point that maybe it was a good time, unintentionally, to call that timeout. Minute 26 to play. St. Francis has lost 11 of their last 12 games. It's a very young team. So playing with a big lead late is something that they're not used to right now, and they've got to make sure that it's something that they learn how to do effectively. Close an opponent out. Judson has continued to score in this game. 16 more points here in the fourth quarter. For the Eagles, it's been one of their better offensive games recently. They've surpassed 60 for just the second time in their last 8 contests. But they still trail by double digits as Takara Harrison looks to inbound. And Chokey gives it right back to Harrison. Lobbed for Thormeyer and out of bounds. Harrison turns it over. And John McGinty pulls the freshman out. Goes back to the sophomores, Mia Canelli and Leilani Harris, who have played the majority of today's game. Potter and Novak, the starters, are trying to finish things out for Judson. Other than that, it's subs in, including Jessica Meyer, who lays this one in. First points of the game for Meyer. And a foul called on Alyssa Potter. That is number 4 on Judson, or is it number 5? I think it's the 5th, so it should be free throws here for St. Francis, and the officials are realizing that now as well. So it will be 2 foul shots coming up for Lorelei Thormeyer. 7-0 run for Judson. Second time they've done this today. Gone down big and made a run. They did it late in the first half when St. Francis' 14-point lead dripped down to 5. They're up by 17 here in the second half and looked like they had put the game away. John McGinty had cleared his bench, and then all of a sudden, here come the Eagles with 7 points in a row. And Thormeyer misses the first free throw, trying to end that run. Thormeyer's 3 of 5 from the line, all here in the second half. Second shot is good. So she's 4 of 6 shooting free throws, accounting for all 4 of her points today. Mason into Meyer, poked away from Meyer, and Ryan Houbolt is there to scoop it up. Full court press on from Judson. Saints beat it, and Thormeyer is fouled from behind. That foul called on Takea Jones. And Hannah Chokey is back in for Leilani Harris. Thormeyer misses the first free throw. She struggled from the line today. She struggled from the field as well. 4 of 7 shooting free throws, 0 of 4 from the field. But she knocks down the second shot, 75-63. Meyer at the elbow, gives it down low to Haley Mason. Mason is pushed from behind. And a foul called on the Fighting Saints. Just their 4th, though, so Judson inbound from the baseline. Kaylee Sipple comes on for Mia Kennelly. First appearance of Sipple today. The senior who has been a member of the basketball team for only a few weeks. Jones, down low to Mason. Mason turnaround, fouled by Choki. First foul on Choki and the 5th on the team, so Haley Mason goes to the line for 2 shots. Mason is 1 of 2 shooting free throws today, make it 1 of 3. Second shot is good. 75-64, 32 seconds left. Judson continues with the press. Takara Harrison off to Lorelei Thormeyer. Thormeyer is able to scoop it up and get it across half court to Kaylee Sipple. Timeout called by St. Francis. 22.9 seconds remaining in the game, 21 on the shot clock. So the Saints will try to make sure that Judson can't take the ball away here and can't quite dribble out the clock. But this should be their final offensive possession of the game legitimately. They'll try to get a couple more points on the board to wrap this thing up. 75-64. Saints have led this game ever since about 2 minutes in. Judson had a 5-2 lead. St. Francis went on a 9-0 run. And it was their game the rest of the way. Eagles have made a couple of runs. They've gotten close, but they haven't been able to get over the 10-point barrier in a while. And St. Francis is ready to put the capper on this one and call it their 9th victory of the year. Brittany Osborne is in for the Saints. Her first appearance today. Takara Harrison, the only starter still on the floor. She's in the paint, double team, ball knocked out of her hands and out of bounds. 17 on the shot clock. So along with Harrison, it's Sipple, Osborne, Choki, and Haubolt. Harrison is the inbounder, finds Ryan Haubolt. One bounce over to Osborne. Brittany Osborne drives and kicks to Sipple. 10 on the shot clock. It's Choki to Haubolt. Up top, Osborne, 5 seconds, and Osborne is bumped by Potter. Judson playing tough defense all the way through that possession. Brittany Osborne goes to the line. Osborne, transplant from the softball rosters, appearing in her 5th game this year. She has 2 points overall this season, just 1 field goal attempt. This is her first time at the free throw line. And her first foul shot is good. So the pressure's on Osborne here. She tries to stay perfect on the season. 1 of 1 from the field, 1 of 1 from the line. And not perfect any longer. Rebound goes to Hannah Choki. She is swarmed, and finally the whistle blows, and we've got a jump ball with 1 second on the clock. Possession error to St. Francis. The officials were trying to swallow the whistle there, but they could hold on no longer. There was just too much going on. So finally the held ball is called. St. Francis just needs to get it in. They do to Osborne, and that's the ball game. 76-64 is our final score. St. Francis defeats Judson, and they end their 6-game losing streak, picking up their first win since late January. Big victory for the Fighting Saints today as they improve to 9-17 overall, 5-13 in conference play. Still have a chance to make it into the conference tournament, set to begin in just a couple of weeks, just over a week actually, the conference tournament. And it is a long shot at this point for St. Francis, but if they win their last two games and get a little help, they will be there. So a big win today to keep them alive for that, as they win for just the second time since January 3rd, but they've had some good games in that stretch. They have fought hard and lost out just at the very end. And so to pick up a win, sometimes you just, especially with a young team, need to get that result that you've been searching for. And getting one, maybe you'll flip the switch. We'll see as they take on Calumet College of St. Joseph on Wednesday. Calumet has not won a conference game this year, so a chance for St. Francis to make it 2 in a row in that one. Some of the final totals from this game: Takara Harrison was excellent for the Saints, 33 points, 10 of 19 shooting. She also had 5 steals. Mia Canelli led the way with 10 rebounds to go along with her 7 points. Leilani Harris had 20 points on 6 of 11 shooting for a Fighting Saints team that shot 47% overall. Judson was led by Alyssa Potter, who got hot from beyond the arc, 5 of 9 shooting 3-pointers. She had 19 points overall. Charity Anderson had a really strong second half. She ended up with 17 points in the game. They got 8 and 5 rebounds from Easton Kimball. Judson's loss drops them to 2-23 overall for the season. The Eagles fall in conference play to 2-16. Saints will do it twice more. They're on the road on Wednesday at Calumet, and their final home game of the season will be 1 week from today. You can catch it here at the Sullivan Center at 1 o'clock next Saturday afternoon as they take on St. Xavier University. Once again, our final score today, 76-64. St. Francis comes out on top of Judson. One more game still to come today. The men's action is on deck, 3 o'clock start time. St. Francis against Judson for that one. That's it for the women's contest, though. A 12-point victory for St. Francis. Thanks for tuning in. Next broadcast for the women's team next Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock against St. Xavier. Until then, Terry Bonadonna here signing off from the University of St. Francis. We'll talk later.